Hi everybody. On page 44 of the Education Dissertation, Dan Butin talks about creating a academic word bank based on the ERIC databases, and I thought I would share with you an Access database that I created to help me do this. I basically follow his instructions as it describes on page 44, but then I added this database just to make it easier. Anyhow, to get into ERIC, I'll start over again. If you go into the university libraries and click on databases and click on ERIC and search, and then it'll ask you to connect. It may not ask you that if you're in Athens, but it does whenever I'm at home. And it asked me this in Lancaster too. Alright, so here I have the ERIC database that I'm searching, and I'm going to search as Butin suggested for online public school. Oops, and I'm going to try and spell it correctly. That helps. And I think I'm also going to choose scholarly peer-reviewed. Even though I'm not looking for articles in this exercise, I'm just looking for keywords. I only want to find academically sound keywords. Okay, so here are some articles. There's actually 22. This under subjects is what he's talking about when he uses the term, I think he uses the term subjects. Yeah, he calls it subjects, but this is what, he calls it keywords. This is the subjects. So I highlight it, I hit Control-C to copy it, I go to a blank Word document and I choose Paste and click the little A for this pasting only the text. Now I like to keep the codes showing when I use Word. It helps, knowledge is power, and it helps me to know what's going on. Most of you may have yours with the reveal codes off, and even with that you can see that every key word is separated with a semicolon and a space. When I turn on my reveal codes, you see the space looks like a little dot. That's going to become important to us later. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next article, highlight those subject words, hit Control-C, go back into Word, and now I want to put a semicolon and a space here before I paste the next one. So I go into Paste. If you don't have these little icons showing up, go into Paste Special and choose Unformatted Text and say OK. I know I'm going to, now I go get my next one. Highlight, Control-C to copy, come here, put my semicolon and my space, paste only the text. Hope I didn't do it twice. No, it looks like I'm good. Okay, come down here to my next. Go back if you accidentally go too far. I'm going to come into here, the 4. I'm going to highlight these. Control-C. If you're on a Mac, it's Command-C, by the way. Semicolon space in Word, and then I'm going to paste. Come back here, get my next group. Control-C, semicolon space, paste text only. Do the next one. Now, I'm not going to do all of these for the purposes of this video. I will, of course, do it for my real thing. Semicolon space, and I did a Control-V, which is okay, but I generally, because of what I'm going to do with this, prefer to just save it that way. Okay, so now I have this list of all the terms separated with a semicolon and a space. I go into the editing ribbon and choose Replace, And in the find what, I put semicolon space because that is what is delimiting each of my terms. And then I replace it with the caret lowercase p. It's important that that be a lowercase p because that means replace each semicolon and space with a new line marker or paragraph marker. And I click replace all, and it says all done. They made 80 changes. So now I have every term that I found, and they are each on a line by themselves. Now, if I wanted to, I could sort this, and that would show me duplicates next to each other. But I'm going to do something a little different because I did create this Access database. I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to go into our class or wherever I want to keep this thing. And I'm going to go under Save As Type and make sure you choose the .txt, which is plain text. And I'm going to call this Word Bank. So I click Save. Notice it is TXT at the end. And save it. And it'll ask me what a kind of encoding I want. Just leave it at the Windows default or plain DOS. Anything will be fine. And save it. And then close it because it has to be closed before I can bring it into Access. Okay, when you go into Access, you'll see the file I gave you has a table called phrases and then two queries. One that deletes all the phrases that might be in there, so if I want to redo this, and the other one is going to be the query that we're going to look at. But what we're going to click on first is External Data, Text File. Go find that text file that you created. In this case, I put it in, see if it's under my recent. There it is, under my EDAD 8901 notes, the word bank. I'm going to double click on that. I'm going to append a copy to the record phrases and say OK, cross my fingers. It says fixed width, yes, OK. I don't want to do a delimited, import to this and finish. Again, cross my fingers. This is kind of nice. I didn't get any error messages, so that's a good sign. If you want to save the import steps, I would do that. I would have done it for you, but because each of you will have your text file in a different folder, I didn't want to save those import steps. But you can do it so that if you find this helpful and continue to use it, you'll have it there. And now click close. There's no little error files here, so that's a very good sign. If I double click on phrases, I should now see all those phrases it brought in. But here's the cool thing. Click on Query Count Phrase Hits. Why didn't that sort the way I want to? I'm going to edit that. When you get this, here's why. I forgot to put descending on there. Okay, when you have it, the descending will already be in there. Say yes. Okay, now what you can see that I now have in this query my most common hits up at the top. I found this actually very helpful. I would never ever have guessed to search on elementary, secondary education, and yet that's actually tied for third in terms of number of hits. Even higher than K-12. Actually, K-12 didn't even make it on here, and that's what I'd been using. So anyhow, I hope this helps. Oh, I forgot to tell you. If you do this again, you're going to want to close all these. Say you want to import again. So I close everything. And then if I click on this query delete all phrases, it'll say, okay, it's going to modify data. You say yes. It tells you I'm going to delete all these rows. You say yes. Now you can see phrases is empty. Now I could go and do another import by going to external data, text file, browse and find my file. It's here. Open it, append it to phrases, say okay. Now obviously in the meantime I would have put more records in there and finish. Dun, 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 dun. Close. Now if I look in phrases, there they all are, and here's my counts. Okay, bye.